Lightning spears the night sky, igniting a sudden blaze of brightness through your bedroom window. The crash of thunder rattles your walls, jolting you upright. Your heart stutters, adrenaline surging as if you've been sprinting for your life. You sense something beyond mere storm clouds gathering, an electric shift in the atmosphere. Rain pounds the roof in relentless percussion, and in that downpour, you feel a presence, potent and calming at once. You catch your reflection in the mirror. Your eyes shine with raw anticipation, but your pulse drums with the echo of fear. For months, you wrestled with illusions. Once, they bound your mind in knots, confounding your path, leaving you groping in spiritual darkness. But now you taste clarity like fresh morning dew. The city outside is half asleep, the street lamps hissing beneath sheets of rain. But your soul crackles awake, telling you this is no ordinary night. A fleeting memory surfaces, of swirling coffee grounds from an old fortune reading. The seer pointed to a pattern resembling the symbol, whispering that your path of peace had been destined since birth. You almost laughed it off, until you felt that subtle vibration in your chest. Now, under nature's fury, you recall the promise. A time of serenity is on the horizon, a peace unshakable by negativity. You cross the room, stepping around half-packed boxes. Something in your gut has told you to prepare for a move. You've been shedding unnecessary items for weeks, as though clearing space for new energies to flow. Lightning flashes again, spotlighting a small notebook on your dresser. Inside, you scrawled out every doubt, every fear, every chord of negativity that once echoed in your mind. You suspect a final test looms, but you also sense the unstoppable momentum of fate. Outside, the storm intensifies. The roar of thunder vibrates in your bones. And still, you feel calm. It's as if your inner world and the raging weather exist on different planes. A near whisper of wind slips through the window's gap, carrying the smell of ozone. You inhale, exhale, and gather the last fragments of courage you didn't know you possessed. This hush within you is new, a lullaby that cannot be drowned by chaos. Then comes a second jolt, a personal phone alert that glows in the dock. Your screen reads 3:33 a.m. The triple digits, 333, throb like a cosmic heartbeat. Goosebumps prick your skin. You recall reading about angel numbers, about how they signal alignment with a higher calling. For the briefest moment, the thunder seems to pause, as though the storm itself acknowledges this cosmic sign. You don't question the timing. You sense a tide turning. Some might argue you're on the precipice of delusion, but in your chest you feel a radiant calm, an unshakable serenity blooming under the chaos. You're no stranger to nightmares or doubts, yet tonight feels different. This is the flashbang revelation, the cosmic announcement that your quest for peace is not a mirage. The illusions that once snared you are collapsing under their own weight, and you stand at the threshold of a new dawn. Trembling but resolute, you reach for the notebook. The storm can rage, illusions can crumble, negative forces can scheme. Yet an invincible harmony surges in your veins, telling you that no darkness can overshadow what's coming next. You shut your eyes, listening to the thunder roll. And in the silent beat that follows, you step across the invisible boundary that separates who you were from who you must become. Morning arrives, draped in pale sunlight. You wake to the thrum of your pulse reverberating through your temples. It's a disorienting sensation. Your body now at odds with the soothing certainty that floated you through the stormy night. A headache blossoms behind your brow, accompanied by a faint nausea. It's as though your flesh hasn't yet caught up to your soul's sudden release from worry. You swallow against the dryness in your throat, sensing yourselves demanding an answer for this abrupt emotional shift. Birdsong filters through the cracked window, weaving into the hush of dawn. You drag yourself to the bathroom mirror. Your reflection reveals tension in your jaw, a tightness around your eyes. The same eyes that glowed with renewed hope last night now appear shadowed with lingering doubt. The body is sounding an alarm, wary of change. You've known such dissonance before. When life lurches forward spiritually, your nerves often revolt, craving the old sense of equilibrium, however flawed. You splash cold water on your face, tasting the metallic tang as droplets cling to your lips. A subtle memory of the symbol returns, that quiet promise of unity and calm. Even so, your limbs feel heavy, weighed down by your mind's incessant what-ifs. Are you truly free from the illusions that once clouded your vision? Or is this just a momentary high before the next wave of chaos? The day's routine beckons. You shuffle into the kitchen, flicking on the coffee maker. The aroma of fresh grounds saturates the air, warm and comforting. But behind that simple pleasure lurks a question. Who might resent your newfound peace? You've witnessed it before. Some people thrive on drama, on seeing you entangled in strife. If they sense you're on the cusp of tranquility, they might rush to sabotage it. The thought tightens your chest, sending a ripple of caution through your muscles. Your phone buzzes. You glance at the screen, half expecting a cryptic message. Instead, it's a mundane notification. A coworker asking about some trivial deadline. Relief flickers through you, but the knot in your gut remains. Your body is braced for an assault that has yet to surface. You stand in the kitchen, letting the coffee steam swirl around your face. Despite the tension in your bones, you sense a slow bloom of gentleness from within, a budding serenity that refuses to be snuffed out. Stepping onto your small balcony, you watch the sunrise gild the horizon. The city below stirs into motion. Cars rumble by, horns bleat in the distance. Pedestrians hurry, oblivious to your quiet metamorphosis. The breeze carries a faint floral scent, someone's blossoming garden on a neighboring rooftop. That sweet fragrance anchors you to the present moment, a subtle promise that your environment, no matter how chaotic, can still hold pockets of grace. Your phone buzzes again, this time with a family member's text. They want you at a gathering you've been avoiding for weeks. Something in you clenches. Memories of criticism jab at your changing beliefs. You picture forced smiles, the undercurrent of tension that always made your shoulders ache. A new wave of conflict looms, but you exhale, letting the tension drain through your feet into the concrete floor. This body alarm is real, but so is the internal shift you felt last night. You can face conflict and still stand unshaken. Peace is no longer a fantasy. It's a presence you carry, even if your muscles haven't fully relaxed into it yet. Cupping your mug, you realize the coffee tastes richer than usual, layered with subtle notes of chocolate. Another sign, perhaps, that your senses are opening to life's simple pleasures. You close your eyes. Through the headache and the swirling anxiety, a gentle truth emerges. Your body may tremble, but your spirit won't be moved. Late afternoon finds you crossing a busy plaza. Heat radiates off the pavement, rippling the air with near-invisible waves. People bustle past, their voices colliding in a swirl of conversation. You weave through them, sensing a watchfulness that prickles the back of your neck. You pause briefly near a fountain, its cascading water splashing your ankles with cool mist. There, in the reflection of the rippling surface, you spot a face watching you from across the plaza. By the time you turn to look directly, they've vanished into the crowd. This isn't your first brush with the intangible hush that signals someone's hidden interest in your life. Over the past month, you've noticed odd coincidences. Strangers standing too close, acquaintances who suddenly pry about your personal growth, cryptic messages that feel pointed. They had never named themselves. You once brushed it off as paranoia, but after last night's stormy awakening, you sense the presence of an antagonist lurking behind the scenes. You move away from the fountain, stepping into the shade of a towering building. The city's pulse is loud here. Engines revving, bus brakes screeching, the pungent odor of roasted peanuts from a nearby vendor. Your stomach churns with a mixture of curiosity and caution. A fleeting thought crosses your mind. Could the negativity you've escaped, the illusions you shed, have an actual puppet master? At a corner cafe, you halt. The reflection in the glass door shows a blurred figure behind you, a tall silhouette in a dark jacket. Then a burst of midday sunlight blots out the image. You spin around to find only a jostling crowd. Still, your chest heightens a primal alarm, insisting that you're being trailed. You close your eyes for a heartbeat, recalling that taste of unstoppable peace you sensed just hours ago. Even if someone seeks to disrupt it, you will not yield to fear. The cafe door chimes as you push your way inside. The interior is an oasis of calm, soft music humming in the background, the sweet aroma of pastries mingling with fresh coffee. You order an iced drink, looking around for a seat. That's when you spot a battered magazine on the communal table. Its cover, half torn, features an article titled Rebirth. Unlocking inner peace. The synchronicity hits you. You open it randomly, eyes landing on a single phrase about ancient lineage and spiritual transformations. Goosebumps crawl up your arms. It's then you sense a presence behind you. You glance over your shoulder, half expecting the hooded figure. Instead, you see a casual acquaintance from your old social circle. A friend of a friend you never quite trusted. They greet you warmly, a little too warmly. The conversation feels forced, every question angled around your recent changes. Their eyes glisten with the same curiosity you felt watching you across the city. As they talk, your phone buzzes. A message from an unrecognized number. Some illusions can't be broken. Your lungs tighten. Coincidence? Possibly, but your gut says otherwise. You keep your expression neutral, responding to your acquaintance's chatter with polite vagueness. Inside, your instincts are on high alert. This person, or the network they move in, might be the unseen force trying to tether you to old chaotic patterns. Moments later, they leave as abruptly as they appeared. The cafe's atmosphere returns to its mellow hum, but the tension in your chest lingers. The hidden antagonist has made themselves felt, even if they haven't openly declared war. You sit, your eyes shrink, the cold sliding down your throat like a whispered warning. You remind yourself that your vow stands firm. No negativity can shake you from this path. The illusions have been peeled away. If someone wants to pull you back into their realm of control, they'll find nothing but a fortress of peace in your heart. That evening, you unfold an old cloth on your living room table. It's the same cloth you once used for a modest coffee cup reading, a ritual you attempted after hearing it might grant spiritual clarity. You set a small cup in the center, swirling the leftover grounds with nervous precision. Flickering candlelight casts dancing shapes across the walls, and a mild incense wafts through the air, bringing a grounding scent of lavender and sage. You're determined to glean concrete evidence of who or what might be operating in your blind spot. Hours later, you're elbow deep in old journals, half-finished tarot spreads, and cryptic notes you scribbled during moments of epiphany. You come across a passage mentioning a friend's repeated skepticism about your spiritual path. Nothing definitive, just offhand remarks. Why waste time meditating? You're changing, and not in a good way. At the time, you brushed these jabs aside, but now in the context of recent events, the puzzle pieces gather weight. A faint tremor crawls up your spine, unsettled by the thought that a trusted ally might have been sowing seeds of doubt from the beginning. Outside, night settles across the city like a dark velvet drape. The occasional siren wails in the distance, a reminder that life surges on with or without your revelations. You thumb through a battered notebook from nearly a year ago. Your scribbles mention a hushed conversation overheard at a social gathering. Your name, your journey, your vulnerabilities. You chalked it up to gossip then. Now you see it as potential sabotage. Someone gleaning personal details to manipulate you later. A soft beep from your phone diverts your attention. You've received an email with no subject line from an address of random characters. Heart pounding, you open it. Inside is a forwarded message that references your spiritual shift as if it's a mere phase. There's talk of nudging you back to normal, of disrupting illusions. Chills skim along your arms, reading how they question your mental stability, your emotional state, your readiness for big changes. The language is clinical, detached, like an operation charting out how to undermine your confidence. This is your breadcrumb. Ear proofs. The words on the screen confirm an orchestrated effort to keep each other tethered to old negativity. The final line stands out in bold text. They can't realize how powerful they truly are. The they in question is you. A harsh staccato of realization pulses in your temples. This group or individual knows that if you fully embrace your peace, it threatens their hold over you. They prefer you uncertain, dependent, malleable. You save the email, capturing screenshots for good measure. A swirl of conflicting emotions churns in your gut. Anger, betrayal, a pinch of relief that at least you're not imagining things. The candle's flame flickers, and you catch the faint reflection of your face in the coffee cup. Your eyes are fierce, unwavering. No matter who stands behind these messages, you hold a shield none can pierce. Your unwavering belief that you've stepped into a peace no negativity can crush. Snuffing the candle with a decisive pinch, you vow to meet this hidden thread head-on. You'll protect what you've discovered within yourself, this calm, potent center you fought so long to uncover. With the email as evidence, you have tangible proof of the scheme that's been haunting the margins of your progress. One thing is certain, illusions are no longer enough to trap you. You gather your notes, a fire lighting in your chest. Tomorrow you confront the sources of the sabotage. Their facade has cracked, and you hold the shards of truth in your hands. Next morning, sunlight pierces your windows as if spotlighting the battles ahead. You've barely sipped water when the phone rings, an unknown number. Your gut clenches, but you answer, bracing yourself. A familiar voice trips false concern, asking if you are well, implying your spiritual journey has unhinged you. They mention rumors about your mental health and suggest you take a break. You can almost smell the stale coffee on their breath from your last awkward meeting. The call ends with a hollow, "We care about you." Then the line goes dead. Your heart stutters, but last night's calm still hums in your chest. Let them spin their pity. Your peace remains intact. Scrolling through social media, you stumble on a venomous post from someone you once trusted. It mocks your transformation as a passing fantasy, its sarcasm as bitter as vinegar. Comments pile up, some supportive, many dismissive. Your phone trembles in your hand, but your spirit stands firm. You taste the lingering scent of toast from your kitchen. Let them talk. Your peace isn't negotiable. A flicker of hurt surfaces. You once bared your soul to these people, but the old heartbreak that used to spiral you has lost its teeth. You've outgrown their judgments. Later, you head to a favorite bookstore that sells crystals and spiritual tomes. It's your refuge until you nearly collide with the hidden antagonist, the same acquaintance you exposed before. They corner you on the sidewalk amid sirens and honking cars. Leaning in with a sly grin, they warn that your newfound path will lead to social exile, ridicule, even career sabotage. Their faux-friendly tone belies clear hostility. You feel the city grit against your ankles, your back pressed to a brick wall. A phrase echoes in your mind. They can't realize how powerful they truly are. You lock eyes with your antagonists and meet their threat with calm resolve. You don't need their validation or to justify your transformation. After a tense heartbeat, you turn and walk away, your steps echoing the promise that your peace is unshaken. 3 waves of negativity, pity, public shaming, direct intimidation, have tried to corner you. They have failed. A block away, you pause to recenter. Traffic fades into a dull murmur, and a breeze brushes your cheeks with cool relief. You glance at your phone, 3:33 p.m., the repeating angel number that guides you. 3 waves collided with you today, only to break against your fortress of faith. Your heart still thunders, but with renewed conviction. Nothing can crack the peace you've claimed. That evening, clouds roll like spectators to a brooding storm. The air crackles with electricity, a subtle shiver on your skin, foretelling thunder. Inside your apartment, you spread your notes across the table. Evidence of mockery and manipulation by old acquaintances and a conspiratorial circle anchored by your so-called friend. They had twisted your narrative behind keyboards, all to keep you small. Yet since uncovering the truth, your anxiety has receded. In its place, a quiet power wells up, once dormant, now unstoppable. You feel karma's gears grind, rebalancing the scales you thought were forever tipped against you. You don't crave vengeance, but you can almost taste the consequences awaiting those who stole your peace. Your phone rings. On the line is the hidden antagonist, their voice strained as they offer a hollow apology. They claim concern for your well-being, confessing to gossip, forged messages, manipulations. Your stomach tightens at the memory of betrayal, but your voice remains steady. They seek forgiveness without responsibility. You imagine them hunched over their phone, panic creeping in as they realize the tide has turned. Outside, wind rattles the windows, and lightning illuminates your reflection, eyes glowing with resolve. You tell them you see through their illusions, that while you won't seek revenge, you refuse to let them back into your sacred space. This done, the silence that follows feels like an admission. They can no longer control your path. You hang up, the line snapping off like a broken tether. Thunder booms, rattling blinds. You exhale, shoulders lightening. This is the karma switch, the cosmic pivot where your detractors must face the mirror they held up to you. There's no triumph in their discomfort, only relief that your fortress of peace remains intact. No illusion they weave can breach. And now rain lashes the city, blurring the skyline. You press your palm to the cool window pane, recalling a battered magazine cover in the cafe about unlocking inner peace. Once its advice felt trite. Now it resonates with vivid truth. You've endured adversity, unraveled hidden strengths, and emerged unshaken. This is how your new reality cements itself, to trials that would once have shattered you. A tranquil stillness settles in your chest as if a dam has broken, releasing calm waters. Negativity dissolves, powerless against the serenity you've built. Even the storm feels cleansing. You close your eyes, letting the thunder's rumble vibrate to your bones, acknowledging that a crucial corner has turned. Peace is your armor, karma the stage for old patterns collapse, and you are free. Morning breaks with the sky so clear it's as if last night's storm never happened. Sunlight floods your room, illuminating every floating mote in its golden beams. You fling open the window and inhale a breeze laced with distant blossoms, soft, sweet, and promising. Today feels sacred. No outside force can shatter the serenity you've built. Determined to cement this fresh start, you grab the last boxes you've packed. Each one holds remnants of your former life. Outdated routines, ill-fitting clothes, mementos of draining relationships. You're moving across town, perhaps farther, to a tranquil riverside neighborhood a friend described. Fresher air, deep twilight hush, space to breathe and become yourself. As you haul the box into the hallway, your phone buzzes. A message from an old acquaintance praises your courage for finally standing up to negativity. Warmth flickers in your chest. Not everyone doubted you. There were those quiet allies, unseen but cheering you on. You recall them now, the friends who believed in your worth. You glance at the clock, 3:33 again. A smile spreads across your face. This repeating angel number has become your compass, proof that unseen forces guide your steps. A light certainty settles around your shoulders. You're on the brink of realignment. Outside, sunlight catches the moving truck's chrome. You remember your vow to inhabit a peace inviolate by old illusions. The antagonist, those internal blocks, has finally lost its grip. Karma has balanced, freeing you from tangled weights. You step onto the sidewalk, breathing crisp morning air that seems to hum with possibility. A butterfly perches on a lamppost, its delicate wings quivering. You smile, recalling your journal's metaphors of transformation. As it lifts into the sunlit sky, you sense your own ascent, rising beyond negativity's reach. A final wave of reflection washes over you, tinged with gratitude. The shadows of your past may linger, but inside you carry an unshakable stillness. You remember the coffee reading's promise of unity, the potent Om symbol echoing in your mind. Its gentle resonance aligns each step with life's deeper currents. With your final box secured, you close the door behind you. The day yawns open like a blank page. You pause to honor every heartbreak and triumph that brought you here, then turn toward a horizon no storm can darken. Your spirit is quiet, strong, and utterly unshakable, ready for the new chapter that awaits.